Tales of Iron is an action RPG that borrows elements from the Souls genre. The gear system might feel familiar to you if you've played Souls games before. There are a few different weapon and armor types. Depending on what you equip, your damage output will change, but weight is also something you'll need to consider, as the bigger the load you carry, the slower your dodges will be. In this game, you've got light weapons on your primary attack button. These are usually a bit more swift and can be charged up if you hold the button down. On your secondary attack button, you carry your two-handed weapons. Throughout combat, you can alternate attacks seamlessly between the two. On top of that, you also have a ranged weapon that can be fired at enemies. On the defensive side, you've got a shield. If you time it right, you can parry enemy attacks. Additionally, you have a short evade, and if you want to cover even more distance, a longer roll. I found the combat to be exhilarating. You're very often caught in between two enemies, and you'll have to shield arrows flying at you from one side, while you fend off enemies on the other. Enemies also have special attacks that are either undodgeable or unblockable. Depending on the warning above them, you'll have to use the corresponding defensive maneuver. I love the combat system, as I felt like I always had to be alert and aggressive. It is quite unforgiving, and you can die quickly, but I never found the game to be that daunting. Similarly to Dark Souls, you can heal combat damage by drinking from your flask. However, in this case, it heals gradually as you hold the button. I think this is a lot more of an interesting and tense way to do it. To save at a checkpoint, you sit down to rest at certain benches. These do not replenish your flask, however. You'll have to look for specific tankards for that instead. As for the story, the frogs have invaded your rat kingdom. You must take it back. Although simple, the story is quite compelling. You actually do end up caring for NPCs that you meet briefly throughout the game, despite the fact that there's no voice acting. Instead, they squeak and grunt with speech bubbles to get the point across. It's effective and keeps the appropriate tone for the game. The game's overarching story is narrated, by Geralt of Rivia in fact.
The grubs were gone. The farmer could now make the best freshly squeezed bug juice in all Rapdom. Reggie liked it with bits.
It startled me at first, but I felt his voice was perfect for it. Every now and again he'll comment on what your character's next goal might be or what they're thinking. It isn't constant commentary. I really enjoy the world the game is set in, and it manages to always feel alive. Characters come and sweep rubble away from areas you've already cleared, and you can see enemies patrolling in the background. There's so much nice attention to detail. And the aesthetic speaks for itself. I personally love the art style. It reminds me of Darkest Dungeon, but not as terrifying. More along the lines of a dark fairy tale book. This accompanied with the beautiful lighting effects and parallax, it's just a joy to look at. Overall, I really love the game. It plays great and everything about it feels thought out and polished. If you like what you see in this video, then I highly recommend it. Thank you for watching everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell and share. Helps me out a lot, and I'll see you next time.